there for a moment and I thought, by God, if we as Americans can't do something on our own private property after seeking approval and we get threatened to be sued, where's the land of opportunity? What does this country have to offer us? Where's that American dream? Where's the American spirit and ingenuity, right? And so this is the perfect time you go to talk to a politician, right? I start looking into a politician, super nice guy and on the job now. He's been in 8 years, hasn't passed a single bill, maybe one or two. You know, and he just pretty much just coasted through the terms, and I was kind of disheartened. So I thought, you know, he's termed out, maybe we need a better politician. And I look naturally to the party that I lean towards, and I find out it's this young kid. You know, I say kid, I'm young too, right? But he's 29 years old, just graduated with a political science major, and his bulk of his career has been a Lowe's receiving clerk. And I thought, I don't know about this, right? I'm gossiping now. No, really, I thought, you know, there must be something about it, because he had a lot of support, he'd been networking for years, and he'd planned to run. So I reached out to some people, I said, look, I want coffee with this guy. I may run against him because I'm having my concerns. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm angry, I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna be a martyr before I pick up a tire in my lawn. You know, it turns out the city drops everything. At the end of the day, the gravel driveway is a clean gravel driveway, and I never hear from him again. But I had coffee with this guy, and he doesn't really listen. So my hope is to go learn who he is, feel him out, be inspired. Then by God, I will sweat and slave for this individual because I want to make a statement, right? But he's not really there because to him, I'm competition, and he burns the bridge. And so here we are. We have a race. I have no idea how to run a campaign because I'm a teacher, I'm a businessman, I'm a father. I am not a politician, far from it, and I never had ambitions to run for office. But sometimes life puts you down a certain path, and you follow the conditions. So I'm outfunded 6-1 because he's networked. I'm out-strategized because he knows what he's doing, and I simply outwork him. And I had the tightest race in Missouri, won by 15 votes, and here we are. So it's kind of cool, yeah. It's okay, you can do my little ego dance. So, I mean, that's kind of where we're at. You know, everyone's so polarized about Democrat, Republican. I think for the state rep level, for the state Congress, if that's more familiar to you, we just need good constituent services. The congressman is supposed to be local. He's supposed to be one of the people, and he's supposed to hear the people and set the grievances before and introduce bills. And when you introduce a bill, it doesn't mean that's the bill. It goes to the committees. It goes through the whole process, and by the time it comes out, it's something completely opposite of what you wanted, and you want your name attached to it, right? I'm joking. So, have you guys covered what a state rep is?
We've talked a little bit about representation. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure you will then. Basically, my goal, if elected, is to simply just be there for the people, not be lazy, really be attentive and care, and then just try and do what's best. You know, no one's a master of everything. No one knows everything. And as a state rep, you go in there and you listen to the debates, you listen to the pros and cons, and you make an assessment, and you do what's best for people. And hopefully you have someone who really cares, is not corruptible, and isn't there for the glory. So campaigning. Yeah, I started campaigning, not a lick of an idea what I was doing. So here's what I do. I go in Photoshop. Good heavens, I have no idea how to work Photoshop. And I put together this really rough flyer. Oh, it's embarrassing to think about when I have a flashback, because I've gone such a long way sometimes. And I just start knocking on every single door. You know, when you're an upset citizen, and by God, something's going to happen, sometimes you just do things that just don't produce results, and that's where I started. So, in everything you find progress, you find niches. So as a specific story example, when I knocked doors, first I found a data analyst. You got to hit doors that have voters, otherwise you're wasting your time, you're not going to affect any change. But when I started hitting the right doors, it was just the dress. So I started out with a white button-down shirt, black slacks, and some shoes, and by God, I looked like a Mormon missionary kid. No one opened that door, ever. I did that 2 days and I realized I'm making a big mistake, right? So I thought, well, maybe I'm just dressed too much. I look like Jehovah's Witness, so I'm going to dress down. I started wearing a clean, single-tone T-shirt and some jeans, and I'm just trying to play with it at this point. And people look through the blinds and they're like, but I'm getting more response out of this one. I can actually see them looking and they're open about it, And so I kind of find a halfway medium in the end. I get a shirt, polo shirt, I put some embroidery on it, tuck it in, put some shorts on, and it has a pretty decent result. And then I keep playing with it. I get a binder, and then I'm a blue collar guy, so I get an industrial tint because this is reflective of me these days. I'm not trying to be something. I'm just trying to do good. So I get a metal tin. You ever see the UPS guys? Some of the metal tin with a clamp on it. I tell you what, you walk to the door with a metal clamp, some paper and a pen, and you got embroidery on your shirt. They think, oh, he's a media home guy. He's not threatening. He's not going to sell me something. He's just at the wrong door. Let me go steer him right. They open the door and then I steer them right. 5 minutes, okay? So, in closing, when you meet a politician, regardless of party affiliation, it's a huge sacrifice. They're really putting themselves out there, and they're really sacrificing a lot of time to try and do something good to people. And so whether it's Trump or Hillary, there's something to respect there. And beyond all the negative press and all the negative things, I hope that you take that to heart, and we can close with some questions.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, first of all, round of applause. I love something you said earlier in your speech. You had said we had talked a couple days ago about goals, and you had said, hopefully I'm quoting you right, you had said if you're going to pursue something, pursue it with purpose, or don't pursue it at all. That's fantastic. I wish I could embroider that on a pillow. That's so great. So great. Thank you very much. You did a great job. We do have a few questions. Since that was such a great speech that filled time, we're going to hopefully 1 minute responding to each one, roughly. Whoever would like to ask a question first, raise your hand, please. Got a couple more.
I'm Shay. I'm actually from Chicago, so I've just been here for like 3 months, so not really know what's going on here, and it's kind of hard when you go into school or work to be politically involved, so I think it's pretty awesome that you came in, so I appreciate that. My question is, basically like law enforcement over the news lately haven't been, enforcing the law and protecting our citizens, so what can be done possibly to ensure that we're protected in Missouri?
Against police officers?
Yeah, what can you do to make sure that we feel that we're protected, like our police officers are here to protect us in the state of Missouri?
Yeah, absolutely. You're talking to guys running for office. I think the best way to do that is to get involved in the police department. My aunts and uncles and cousins, they live in Chicago, Glen Ellen area. My twin brother is a cop. And, we have corruption, we have lazy people, we have bad people in every field, in every direction. And I think the best way you affect change is by addressing the change and helping to fix the situation. So more than Black Lives Matter, rather than protesting, because I don't know how much that actually changes things and sets a grievance that doesn't have an outcome. Not to knock it too much, but I think it would be to actually go and suggest a bill for your state representative to reform the police department, get in touch with the police. Right now we have petty theft going up in Springfield where it's going down statewide. So, you could attack something specific like that and get involved in your city council and try and find out what's specifically going on in that particular situation. I don't know that there's a lot of racism in DC, but there may be a ton of racism in LA. But in LA, there may be something going on with, cops just trying to ticket more for more funds. So every territory has a specific issue, and I think we need to localize and attack that.
Your family history is fascinating.
Yeah.
Your upbringing, your personal story is crazy.
And I just touched bases.
Yeah. All right, another question. That was a really good one.
It's kind of another law enforcement-based question, but my name is Stephen, and if elected, how would you help stop the blatant abuse of civil asset forfeiture by law enforcement?
Yeah, it's actually one of my issue points on my website. Oh, you looked it up. Yeah, I like you. You know, Missouri actually has pretty decent civil asset forfeiture law, but the problem is the federal law supersedes the state law, and there's a go-around. So if the state authority goes through the federal process, then they can take funds through civil asset forfeiture. And civil asset forfeiture is not a bad idea. It was pushed back in the 80s predominantly to attack drug cartels. If you take the money from drug cartels, you ruin their operation because money is the flow of things, right? But it's a civil rights issue. So if you have a little bit of pot in your car, they suddenly seize your car as drug trafficking, and without due process, you're without due process, and that's an issue for me. I don't think that's a very healthy direction for our country. So one alternative to do that is to set laws is to de-incentivize the action from the police. So instead of the funds going directly to the police department, the funds might go to education. So if they do seize it through the federal process, state law would stipulate it has to go somewhere else.
A couple great law enforcement questions. A couple of you had really good questions on school choice. Can I get a question on school choice? We have one.
I had a question, if you could expand about the idea of the parents finding the best education for their child's particular needs. About that.
Yeah, we have school choice in Missouri, but it's school choice within the governmental structure. So you can't go to a private school. We don't have charter schools, which is kind of a pseudo-private institution. But basically, the premise for me is we need to create competition. If you have one soda, company, you only have one soda choice, and they can make an inferior product, and you're stuck with it. You either choose it or you don't. And the way it works now, by and large, unless you have a lot of money, you're stuck with the public system, which should be well, but they don't have to compete against other options. And so I think that if we force our schools to compete against themselves for business, rather than just segmenting populations that go to this place, they're guaranteed a certain flow of customer, put in business terms. So I think we would have a better outcome with our education with our kids if they were held more accountable for their outcomes, and I think that would do it with school choice, school vouchers on a bigger scale would meet that end better. Does that make sense? Yeah.
Time for one more question. Let's go to, Emil.
I was wondering, you were talking about getting more involved in local government. How does
You want to volunteer?
How does one get involved or get more info on what the candidates are doing, or what even those who are actually elected are doing? And if you want to help or improve that, how do you get involved in that kind of thing?
There's this term, we're resource rich but information poor. The resources out there, you have to know where to find it. And one thing that can be done is simply make the resource more available and more known to people. But to get involved is to get involved. You can help on a campaign. We have a website, thomasquinn.org. You're more than welcome to look it up, and you're more than welcome to come out and volunteer. We have a Facebook page. Same with every other politician. And it's really just identifying what you think is good and what would be good for everyone, and just trying to pursue that and figure out how to do it. In life, you never have the right condition, you never have the right circumstance, you never have the right preparation, but hopefully you've had a foundation there in place to kind of start going somewhere, and then it's baby steps. And you end up where you want to go, hopefully.
It's great. Round of applause one more time. You're good. Thank you so much. We're so honored to have you. You take care and you be safe.
Yeah,
And
got some
good luck.
flyers here if you guys